The winds of change are brewing up this morning. Rain, snow, wind forecasted for Minnesota. My change? Another road trip.
Welcome to Bonsai Acres.
I'm jumping in the car this morning. I'm heading east again, but this time we're going to stop at Chicago. First stop, Tomah, Wisconsin, to gas up and take a little bathroom break. The radar is sure active in Minnesota and Wisconsin. At a time there, I was driving right between the edge of snow and rain. Let's hope it sticks to the rain. We're going to go see Tom in Chicago, and then my friend Steven's coming up for a special project. More on that to come.
We're just outside of Madison. It's time for a quick lunch. I was kind of craving some Chinese food, so we're at the Happy Walk. Now, this was a great little restaurant, and they had really good food. Interesting, not very many people here, so you always worry that you're not going to get, good food, good service. The place was spotless, and the food was, Actually, it was about a 3 nose blow lunch today. Yeah, if I'm blowing my nose, you know it's spicy, and I'm loving my food. Tried to get the mushrooms in there. Yeah, I left it on the plate. All right, so a good lunch indeed at the Happy Walk. Oh, and my fortune cookie, by the way, many receive advice, only the wise profit by it. Take those words and do whatever you will with them. So what am I doing? Why am I going to Chicago? Why a little mini road trip? Well, I'm gonna go visit my friend Tom from Grow Clip Bonsai for Seniors. More about that a little bit later again. But this trip was all to meet my friend Steven from Indianapolis. We've got this new challenge going on, and I'd like you to possibly take part in this. And it's a tricky one. I've mentioned it before in passing, so here we go. I am driving to Chicago to swap trees with Steven. What did I say? Yeah, a tree swap. So here is the challenge. I've got a tree, my friend Steven has a tree. I don't know how long he's had his tree, and he doesn't know how long I've had my tree. But we're gonna get together, and we're gonna swap stories, and then he's gonna keep my tree for 2 years. And then I'm gonna keep his tree for 2 years. And all bets are off. You can repot it, you can cut off a branch, you can cut off a trunk. You get to make the creative decisions for the next 2 years, and then return the tree in the pot it came in for the final discussion of that tree. Doesn't that sound cool? So the cargo in the back of my car is going to be, well, for Steve. And he's got some cargo in his car that'll be, well, for me. And so we're gonna have a swap either this evening or tomorrow morning. We have some other things planned. More on that later.
South and west of downtown Chicago, I am in Tom's neighborhood. We are close. I wonder if Tom's gonna be waiting out for me on his front stoop. I said I'd be there about 3, it's 2:54. We're almost there. There's the church he works at. These are some big speed bumps. I see a spot, so I'm gonna take it. We're here in Tom's basement. We're not going to record a full-length video, but I'm on the road trip to go see Steven in a few moments for the big swap. But enough about the swap. I got to give this guy a present, so let's get him all situated for this. Tom, a good friend of mine, Rack, who's a part of Budget Bonsai, sent me a 2-pack, and one of my jobs was to give one away to someone else, a bonsai enthusiast. Tom, that's you. So this is your half of Rack's present, so I want you to open that and see what's in there. Oh, but stop! Oh, before you open it, I'd love to show you what is going to happen with Tom, but he gets to show you on his channel. So, back to my show. Good thing the rain has stopped, but better yet, I'm at my room. Nothing like arriving to your home away from home. Put my stuff away, maybe take a little nap. I guess that's why they call it Courtyard by Marriott. And like that, we're at the Chicago Botanical Gardens in their volunteer area. We just had a great interview with Chris, and welcome everybody, Steven. So thanks for meeting me here.
Yeah, of course.
And hanging out with me and doing this. So this is the Weird and Crazy Bonsai Swap Challenge that really only he and I are doing so far, but we're hoping some other people jump on board. So Indianapolis, Twin Cities, we met in Chicago, and we're swapping trees. So that's all it is. About 2 years. So we could repot this spring yet. You could repot next year or the final year before we come back together. That's 3 chances to repot and 2 full growing seasons. Ready?
It's gonna be great.
Okay, so you're the guest.
Okay.
I'll make you go first.
Okay.
Okay, so these could be any trees, and of course you have to think that your person you're swapping with could kill the tree. So do you trust me?
Oh, well, yes, and also like I could kill the tree too. So,
totally, right. So what do we have? Tell me a little about the tree so I know we're going to go from here.
Sure. So this is a basil leaf hawthorn. So it's got very small leaves for a hawthorn.
Basil leaf hawthorn.
I got it when I was watching Tony's videos, and I was like, oh, hawthorn seemed great. I think when you were at my house, you said you didn't have one. So when you reached out and you were like, "Hey, you want to do this swap?" I thought, "Okay, we'll do a hawthorn." So, so I got it because I like slanting style, but
sure.
But the more I look at it, the more I think it's got a lot of problems with it, and I don't know what to do with it. So when you said let's swap trees, because this seemed like a really good opportunity
to have someone else hack up your tree.
Somebody else do this. So,
so you've had it for how many years?
I've had it for three years now,
okay.
And it grows like crazy. It has wire mark from the person who had it before. It has some inverse paper, but it grows really well. I actually, when I was potting some other trees this summer, I was looking at it and I thought it really needs to be repotted, but it's leafed out now. But I was actually thinking maybe it becomes a raft style or something.
Could be turned into a raft.
So anyway, it's got a lot of possibilities.
Have you chopped this, or was it chopped when you got it?
I chopped one piece off because it was starting to die back anyway. So.
And maybe Chris can answer this question. So it being a hawthorn, if that chop, how is it going to backbud? How did it backbud?
It backbuds really well. The wood is really hard though, so you can't bend branches very well.
Yeah.
Like the trunk, it's really firm.
We got a stiff tree.
So yeah, I'm not sure what to do with it, but it's just I've really just kind of been letting it grow until I could decide, and just trimming it back a little bit, but not really doing anything.
And you had it in your greenhouse all winter, or did you?
Yeah. I overwinter everything in the greenhouse, except for the larches sometimes.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited.
Should we get the pro?
Yeah, sure.
What do we got here? Hawthorn. What do you know about hawthorn, Chris?
We've got one little one.
One little hawthorn. All right, we're going to challenge Chris today. This is a basil leaf hawthorn.
Okay, cool.
So he said it's rebudding well when he's chopped once. New to him, but grows like crazy. So.
Yeah, I like the little leaf.
Yeah, that's a fun leaf.
Now, can you put these leaves in a salad? They look like they'd be
I don't know.
scrumptious.
I've never tried. It does have thorns. I think I've cut most of them off, but
Yeah, I don't see a ton.
It's cool. It'll be fun to play with. What's it in?
so this was I last repotted it probably 3 years ago when I got it, and I was using Nigel's mix of turfus and what else does he use?
Does he put perlite in his?
Perlite, yeah. So it's all broken down. It needs to be repotted.
Yeah.
And I mostly use akadama and pumice and
In lava?
lava rock. Yeah.
The three main.
It's kind of interesting to see. I've been doing this for like 5 years now, and I repotted 25 trees this spring, and I can see like how quickly I've progressed in this, because like this is like the second or third time I've repotted some of those trees, and I'm getting much better at it.
Getting much better at it, yeah. So with the leaves being bud out the way they are, you'd still be comfortable repotting this probably? Or would it be still too risky? And just wait? And then if I wait till next spring, that's a whole year in what it's currently in.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know too much about these guys, so I don't really know how
Yeah.
it would respond, you know?
Yeah.
Now, if you didn't take a ton of root and maybe you prune some of the foliage, right, you lessen the transpiration.
Right.
Keep it cool, keep it maybe in a shady, cool place. Make sure it stays well hydrated.
Yeah.
You know, you don't know what's in there.
Right, and just
So,
less stress root.
It seems like a really rich mix.
Mhm.
The clay, it's very heavy.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right.
if yeah.
So it's mine for 2 years.
There's a little risk
Yeah.
with anything, I guess.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, and I've said the same thing to other newcomers too, that I did already think of that.
Yeah.
No, that's a big
Yeah.
transformation, right? And
You could
do they air layer?
You could
Yeah.
So I'll air layer this
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
and chop
could
it
air
next
layer.
year. We're gonna get 2 out of 1.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
cool. I like the leaf.
Yeah. Very cool.
This is really,
Yeah.
there's no taper, you know,
Right, yeah,
and then
there's-
it gets actually thicker about here.
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit challenging. The idea of a raft is kind of cool.
Yeah.
You could still do that and make a raft,
Yeah.
right? If you
You could air layer and then make a raft out of the air
wonder
layer.
If you could actually strip this and do kind of and start growing the roots there while you're air layering this. I wonder if that would be too much. And
So
then that
make
way
an
when-
expanded air layer, you were saying? Like
Well, do a
score it all the way
do a
up?
regular air layer.
Yeah. And
But then score the bottom and do rooting hormone and sphagnum as well.
right there.
And then by the time you cut this, instead of being dependent maybe on here, you might get enough roots here that you could lay it straight
Lay it
down.
straight down.
I've never tried it.
Oh.
And worst case scenario is you're just left with this.
I left
Right.
with that anyway.
Or
Yeah.
this doesn't grow roots and it just will heal over,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's interesting. I
Alright.
mean, you know, there's
Yeah. Fun times.
I like it.
All
I
right.
like the foliage.
Cool. Tree number 2. Do you know what
All
tree
right.
this is?
No.
So this is one of my collected Yardadories.
Yeah, yeah.
So my buddy Steve and I collected a couple of amber maples. So this is an amber maple, which will bud this will back bud more than almost any tree I have. And if you see all the little,
Yeah.
there'll
Oh.
be 30 or 40 or 50 in the next couple of weeks. You can see around this branch right here, there's a dozen buds right there,
Oh my
right?
gosh,
So
yeah.
it grows like an absolute weed, which why they're considered invasive now.
Yeah.
So most nurseries won't sell them. So I got a 5 clump and I got this 3 clump, which had just a really, really bizarre, this inner trunk here. But it grows very fast. And this summer, if you just let it grow, you don't see all these scar marks and you get leaves all around here. You'll, from a distance, have this little 3 clump tree
Yeah.
that looks pretty cool. But of course, the bones and skeleton are a little weak right now, right? But when you chop it, it's always performed and grown back. So this was a 4-foot start, 3 foot to 4 foot start.
So have you
So
cut
I'm
it
down.
back again since you? Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the first time it's been in a pot.
Oh, okay.
Last
It was
year.
in a box before?
It was in a box.
Yeah.
So this is the first pot, and this is mostly Akadama pumice. You might find a little bit of lava rock in there. And so this is 1 year now, as of like right now, 1 year in this pot.
Okay.
So it was a box until then. Obviously, we have the hollows and things that could be weakening up in there, you know.
Yeah.
So I've had people, when they watch my video on this tree, when you spin this tree, they're like, ooh, that could be a front.
Yeah.
And they go like, ooh, but
Oh,
maybe
that-
at 1702, that could be a front. So I'm just really curious over a couple of years, not looking at this bad boy, like what you could do, what you could do with this tree. And again,
mean,
talking about a fast grower, right? Fast growing, back budding like an absolute crazy thing. And it's got this real fun, wide, funky nabari right now. I mean, that's the tree.
Yeah. Right.
And then this could be the tree, right? People look for trunks when they buy trees or get trees. Like, what could it become? So
I feel like you do have to find a way to feature that, right?
Yeah.
And then this started growing last year, and I left it on. But
Yeah.
it's just thickening this up more, maybe, and you can already see it's budding right there. So I mean, everything's going to be alive and just in beautiful shape in your yard in a
That
couple
is
of weeks.
crazy.
Consider taking that and developing this,
This-
because these are kind of
That was my-
fusing, and
yeah.
this is really thick.
Yeah,
And so, considering how fast they grow,
totally.
if you take that,
This right
super
here,
triple.
this right here was 3 feet tall this summer, right?
Yeah.
And if
Could
I
be a
had,
twin, but it could
Totally.
still be a triple. But
yeah,
maybe
You're saying
this is-
take
take this whole
trunk
thing off. Yeah,
Well, I'm
Yeah.
just,
as a possibility.
Just-
Yeah.
and
That's
this could be, then you could put this wherever you want because it's still small.
yeah. So that was why I left that there.
Cool.
I left that there last year
The
just
base
in
is
case.
amazing. That's super cool.
So fun stuff.
I mean, it's got a hollow here too. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, it
Like here, where you could see
Yeah.
both,
yeah,
Yeah.
and you're not like looking through the middle.
right,
So
right.
you see this, you see that, and then this just fills that void. And these grow up. Grows straight. It's just like this goes.
Yeah.
Totally, yeah. So if
That's
you can,
cool. I love the bark. Look at that mature bark at the base.
yeah,
It's really nice.
it's got some age to it and it's looking pretty good. Now I don't know how many years it was in the ground at this construction site, but this could be a 10, 15, 20-year-old base,
Yeah.
30-year-old. I have no idea. Now they grow so fast, so I don't know if that would be true to 20 years worth. If they're growing like an inch a year, or half an inch a year, that would be 10 years old maybe. But yeah, so
Who cares?
pretty.
It looks.
It does.
Yeah, yeah.
It looks like, oh my gosh, this could be something. And I love even this indentation here and
Yeah.
the craggliness. And so yeah,
It definitely has a story.
it does. And so I wanted this to have a new story and to have someone else put their eyes on it. And whatever happens,
I mean,
happens. So
that's kind of an interesting front too. You don't get to see like.
it is.
You lose the hollow.
You lose the hollow completely, but
it
you have
makes
that.
it feel more like one.
Yeah,
like-
you have one base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could have a small little accent plant growing out of the hollow.
Yeah, totally.
It's like something there that kind of creeps out.
So
All right.
So have fun
Well,
with
this
that.
is exciting.
It's just, I thought you'd enjoy this one. So there is your Amur. And it's even fun, this has startup movement right here. And then it's just like, well, what do you do here? And it had this really weird 90-degree almost change here, but there's just this subtle movement here. And I don't know why it bled so much here. This was weird. I don't know if that's I don't know what happened there, but
Well, it's got a lot of character.
yeah, so we'll.
I'm excited.
So take some pictures.
Yeah.
And we'll keep updating. We'll take some snaps and we'll compare every so often, and then we'll show the people what we're doing.
I am going to try to do some video.
Absolutely.
Oh
Oh my gosh, yeah. And if you don't want to edit it, just show me the raw footage. But I know you'll figure it out. You're gonna do fine.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, there you go. All right.
Well, this will be fun.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Stephen. This will be
Thank
great.
you.
Yeah.
And thanks for letting us behind the
Invade.
scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome. Always
This is
a
great.
pleasure.
All right.
All right.
Well, cool.
Thank you.
Let's stop recording and go have some lunch and talk more bonsai.
Welcome to Bonsai Acres.